A very good afternoon to all of you. Aradhya Gupta here from Internal Combustion. And in today's episode, we will be in conversation with Mr. Samir Gupta Rangwala. He happens to be a historic racer, a couple of rallies he's participated in. He happens to be a restorer and a collector of a couple of beautiful vintage cars, one being the Rolls Royce from 1928 and the second one being a rally from 1970s. And both these machines have a beautiful history and a beautiful story behind them, and a lot of work was done to maintain both these machines and bring them back to their original condition. And it was a pleasure talking to a hardcore automobile enthusiast and of course a businessman in his hearts, and I would like to share that experience with you. So here we go. So my first question to you would be, I mean, although you do, have a thing for classic cars and vintage cars, but more than that, I feel you're a very, an automotive enthusiast at all your hearts. So where did this journey begin? Where did it all start for you?
Yeah, it all started. It all started with my dad
Okay.
putting me on his lap when I was probably 2-3 years old.
Okay.
And in his Fiat, we would go to India Gate,
Okay.
go up Rashtrapati Bhavan, and he would, press my shoulders. If I have to, I'm holding the steering. If he's pressing my this shoulder, that means the car has to turn left. If he's pressing this shoulder, then I have to turn the car right.
And this was when you were 2-3 years of
Probably.
age. Okay.
Probably, yeah.
And how much did you score on that?
So that's the begining.
Okay.
So that's the beginning, yeah.
Okay.
And I know it was all illegal, but
who hasn't done this?
Yeah.
Who hasn't done this? I mean, I do have a faint memory of not my dad making me do all of this because he's my dad. But yes, I have, been blessed with a few relatives who are much older to me, who made me, and, God bless all those chauffeurs that we had back then, who got a big bashing and thrashing from mom and dad for letting me drive their cars. Yeah. But it was kind enough that I think probably by the age of 12 or 13, full-fledgedly, I was able to drive a car. So I still remember back then sneaking out, pulling the car out when mom and dad are not around, taking a spin in the colony, parking it back, and making sure that's not a scratch on it. But continuing. So
it was.
How did it grow for you?
That's how it grew.
Okay.
And then probably maybe when I was 5, 6. Then I would be on my knees in the car.
Okay.
He'll tune the car to that level that in the first gear, the car will go at probably a speed of 2 or 3 kilometers an hour.
Okay.
And we used to live in Barakhamba Road at that time.
Okay.
And we could take a full circle of the house inside.
You had a speed limiter back then in the cars?
I'm not saying speed limit. I'm saying there was a possibility that he tuned the carburetor to reduce the RPM.
Okay.
Reduce the race of the car.
Understood.
So वो इतना धीरे चले कि a 5-year-old can manage. So I was no accelerator, no brake. It's in the first gear. The car is going, and I'm taking a full round of the house.
Okay.
And it's like a full rectangle,
Okay.
So.
Okay.
So and then slowly when the feet started reaching the pedals, then it all started.
Then I'm sure eventually you figured out what dad was doing to the car.
Exactly. So he was always, whenever we were going, he said, just watch my feet.
Okay.
And see which gear I'm putting and all that. So
back then the gear shifter used to be here.
Yeah, it used to be here. So Fiat Ambassadors, we used to always have those at that time. And that was it.
Okay. And about the fact that you are a historic racer also, which I recently learned about. How did that come into being? When did that start?
Yeah, because my dad, again, he went for All India Highway Motor Rally in 1972.
Oh, okay.
So then there were some albums of his lying in the house and we were seeing.
Okay.
and then that's how it, slowly
Okay.
came
Okay.
up.
So, which was the first rally that you participated in?
So I went straight for the Himalayan, which was
Okay.
in 1988, if I remember correctly.
Acha. Okay.
Yeah, it was 88.
Okay.
Because I went for the Great Desert Himalaya as an official.
Acha. Okay. Okay.
That's when we went around, understood how the whole thing works and all
Ha,
that.
ha, 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 ha,
And
ha.
then in 88,
Okay.
went for the Himalayan
Okay. Okay. And this was what were you driving in that?
Gypsy.
Acha, you had a gypsy
Yeah,
back then. So it was that, I think I'm assuming that was a 1 liter
1
engine
liter,
back
1
then.
liter,
1 liter engine.
1100 cc or 1000,
Ah,
whatever it was.
correct, correct, correct.
Oi,
Any incidents that you went through during rallies, or it went smooth for you?
yeah, it went pretty smooth. Just one, I think, one competitive section we went on the side.
अच्छा
So,
हाँ वो तो चलता है
so it was our first experience. तो इसलिए थोड़ा सा
ओके
तो ये हुआ कि भाई, we just got out of the car.
हाँ
Luckily, there were 2-3 cars coming from the back,
हाँ
and
हाँ
they
हाँ हाँ
were kind enough to stop.
ओह ओके
And then we all picked up the car,
ओके
put it
ओके
back,
ओके ओके ओके
and then
ओके
we were back in the race.
back in the race interesting so this was the TSD format or this was the extreme format that you had participated in TSD मतलब आपका वो time speed distance वाला हो गया
हाँ.
and extreme हो गया where you going flat out
See, time speed distance है, लेकिन you have to go flat out because in the competitive section,
हाँ
they ask you to do 20 kilometers in 6 minutes
right right right
in the
right
hills.
right
So
हाँ
even if you go at 100,
हाँ
you're not able to match.
because you need to pull out that average speed
You
then
have to pull out that average. So everybody was, I mean, only the Mitsubishi Gallants or
हाँ हाँ
people like Jayan Shah were
हाँ
probably able to score in those competitive sections. Otherwise, gypsies couldn't have
okay
made it.
okay
We were always minus.
and how many rallies in general have you participated
No,
in?
just one.
Just one.
Just one. That was
What was your position in
the
that?
first and last. So we came 8th.
Not bad.
Yeah, and
And that was how many seconds slower than the winner?
oh, this I don't remember.
Probably minutes, not seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
Because okay, okay. But then why you never chose to participate in the rally in any kind of a rally in after that?
Because it was too dangerous.
ये आपने रैली में पार्टिसिपेट करने से पहले नहीं सोचा
पहले
था
नहीं सोचा था वो बाद में जो वहां जाके पता चला कि यार ये करना पड़ेगा कर तो लिया बट इट वाज
obviously मतलब I think
and we were seeing guys going off the cliff like this so it was scary.
and from what I think what Kanav only told me that probably it was tougher than what Rate the Himalaya used to be right now. Rate the Himalaya तो अभी बंद हुआ है recently. It's no longer happening.
अच्छा
But Rate the Himalaya was also again an event, Himalayan rally on the same format, but it was sponsored by Maruti, big
Okay.
time, and they did it for a good number of years.
okay
But so you're not the only one who has told me about Himalayan rally.
yeah
Even my dad also told me, and one of dad's friends also told me about it. But okay, got it. So after rallying, then what kind? How did you pursue your enthusiasm for automobiles?
no it was basically I mean whatever cars were there
Acha.
that were coming in
Okay.
so we just and trying to go always on road trips wherever possible.
Understood. Understood. Okay. And when did so amongst the two cars that you have, Rolls and the Riley, which is the one which happened to you first?
Yeah, so our Riley was with us, I think, since 1976.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that was the time when one of my uncle's friends, he told him कि भाई ये गाड़ी एक है नरगिस की गाड़ी है नरगिस the film actress.
Okay.
तो अच्छा and then he saw the car and he says no I want this car.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think the next moment we saw the car was in the house.
Nice.
So that time it was a covered car. It was
Acha.
it was not it was fixed. The cover was fixed.
Okay.
But then, it was just probably there, lying there, unrestored, whatever.
Acha, it was in a battered condition.
It was not battered condition, I would say. It was in a good condition, but paint थोड़ा ऐसा वैसा था, जो भी था.
But mechanically it
was perfect. Mechanically it was perfect.
Okay.
So, and then the car came into the family. Then, then it was like going here and there.
I'm sure it would have been difficult for one of your brothers, you mentioned. No?
My uncle, my taya.
Your uncle,
my taya.
So it would have been difficult for him also to let go of the vehicle eventually. Or did he give it to you, or you asked for it?
I asked for it.
Okay. I thought I asked for it. So if at all you are to procure additional parts to replace any of the damaged parts off of the Riley, where do you procure that from?
To be honest, we didn't have to do anything till now.
Okay.
But there is a very, very strong Riley owners group in UK.
In UK?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a British car?
Yeah. Okay. It's a British car. And Kanav, my son, he's enrolled with that club.
I see. Okay.
And so they keep sending the newsletters or, whatever. He's in constant touch with them.
Okay.
And God forbid if anything happens, I think I'm pretty sure that we will get each and every part of the car. This is the kind of
following it
has back in UK. I don't think there are too many Rallies in India. It's a very rare car.
Right.
And it's a very, very beautiful, maybe because I have it, that's why I feel, but I love the curve, the lines of the car. And especially now with the open body, it gives a different feel out altogether. You look it from the side, you look it from the back, it's a different feel.
And coming to the roles, we'll continue about the Riley eventually as we are continuing the conversation, because I'm sure I'll have some connected questions. But then, when did the roles come into picture?
Yeah, the roles came into the picture when Kana was, kind of getting ready for marriage.
Okay.
And I don't know for what reason I had this in my mind.
Is he ready for marriage?
कि भाई दुल्हन को जो है हमको roles में लाना है.
Okay.
That was the idea, nothing else.
Really?
Yeah. So there was no this thing of, and then luckily there was this car available.
Acha, okay.
And we saw all the details, the mechanical, everything was 100% perfect. The only thing was that the paint, upholstery, everything needed restoration.
Okay.
Which there were guys in India who could do it. The guy who did our Riley, he was there. There were other guys.
Okay.
People in Calcutta, people in Bombay.
Where did you find this? I mean, I would like to know the starting. I mean, where did you find this machine?
So this machine was in UK.
Oh, okay.
And we saw a lot of them. Then through a friend of mine, he had got the whole due diligence done.
Okay.
He gave me all the details.
Okay.
And I had also told him that just spread the word to one or two people that koi roles अच्छी मिले तो बताना यार. So that's how this whole thing came up. And luckily, this happened all during COVID. So
roles is a recent thing.
May 2020, when everybody was just sitting in the home and doing nothing else, and so we were also not doing anything and just going online and checking things.
Okay.
And luckily, we found this, and the deal was done. And in June, the car was with us.
So I'm assuming you did have to pay, like you were mentioning earlier about the duty and everything. You would have to have.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Understood. What year is this Rolls?
This is a 1928.
Acha, 1928.
Yeah.
Wow, almost 100 years now.
Almost going to be, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And if you don't mind me asking, what was the damage on this?
There's no damage. I would not call it a damage. So it's
वैसे भी अभी कनव की शादी हो रही है.
It's a feeling, it's a feeling. So
your son is yet to get married. So ठीक है. A good chunk of the expenses already taken care of. 3 years back.
3 years back.
ठीक है.
और क्या?
And the Riley is which year? Which year
Is a
manufacturing?
1948.
Acha,
Yeah,
1940.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, as I told you earlier also, I still have a faint memory. I mean, last time when I came, unfortunately, you were not there. So Kanav was kind enough to take me inside and, show me the rolls, and, he
Okay.
took the wraps off and we sat in it. And I mean, yeah, the upholstery and everything was very typical Rolls, like lavish and super stylish. But one thing that caught my eye was that the moment I kept my elbow on the left, there was some sort of a support there. And then I saw something popping out of the left side, and then I was like, what the hell is this? Why is it? My elbow was hurting, and then I just picked it up and I pulled it out. It was a bottle right next to an ashtray.
Okay.
So
So we
that
still
was
have to
something.
find out what it is, huh?
Huh.
We also don't know.
ठीक
I
है,
think
it's a
we need
bottle. You can
we
use
need
it for
to-
anything.
We need to see in the build sheet
Huh, probably, exactly.
that what exactly is that bottle meant for.
Absolutely. So a simple question now, considering that you told me about the Riley and Rolls. So definitely there is something you admire about these old vintage machines as compared to modern day cars.
Yeah.
What would that be?
See, it's the only thing is that you are driving these vehicles and you are driving them rather than the new age vehicles where you are not driving, the vehicle is driving itself. That's what's happening. I mean, our new Honda City, it has all sorts of whatever
Gimmicks
gimmicks
going
are there,
on.
whatever is there. I mean, if you don't want to brake, the car brakes. Yeah.
Fair
So
point, fair point.
and then you want to pull the car in a certain gear, you can't do that anymore. All these are automatic gear cars. So sometimes I still feel our Honda Accord, which is a manual, I prefer driving that car. Yeah. You feel you are more in control of the car.
Huh. Like easily, I mean, it's something, uncle, but easily, like you picked up this Rolls Royce from 1928, you said. You could have easily picked up the current Rolls Royce, but you still chose to pick up
I
something.
gave you the reason for that.
Huh. The reason would still be the same. The reason would still be the same. But
Yeah.
that holds a lot of value to me, that, and because there's clearly a very deep culture of automobiles, inside you, that you chose to go in for that kind of a machine. And rightly said, cars today, they are, I mean, all of us car enthusiasts, we call it car pewters, what is currently running on roads.
Acha. Okay.
But anything more than that, why, you feel,
Well, it was just that, okay, it's a good brand.
of course,
That's one thing.
of
Then
course,
I personally like the shape of the car.
I see.
That was another reason I would say that really made made me make the decision so fast.
Anything in particular you would like to talk about the design language or the shape of the car of the Rolls Royce?
Not really.
Okay.
Just I don't know. It's just a feeling that it had a compartment for the back and separate this thing. So it was a nice thing, and the best part was that it's a drivable car. That's also there because there are Rolls which are probably much bigger and
Yeah.
much more powerful. But to drive those in the weather like India is sometimes an issue.
Do you
So
think, I mean, this question is in connection to this Rolls that you have. Do you think Rolls Royce in their current models, the current Rolls Royce, do you think they have been able to uh, continue certain part of their design language from 1928 till 2023, the current cars?
I don't have any answer. I have not done any kind of,
Okay,
but
okay,
I'm sure they would have because there are so
right.
many WhatsApp in our different groups, automotive groups going, wherein if you see a BMW which started in 19 whatever,
Yeah.
their shape keeps on changing, but there is some similarity to the old one. So the same way for Mercedes, same way for
Yeah.
Rolls. So has to be something.
Like I'll just share what my observation was immediately after I saw the Rolls was the grill, the front grill, and I think that's an angel on top. Or what's it? The logo Rolls Royce. That's an angel, I think.
I don't know. They call it the flying lady
The
or
flying lady. So that and the grill, I think that these two things are something that Rolls Royce has continued. It has evolved, no
yeah,
doubt. The
correct.
cars are more aerodynamic now.
Yeah.
But in terms of the front fascia of the car, I think Rolls Royce still stands out because of that huge grill. Because I mean, the first thing when I saw this car, the first modern day car that came to my mind was the Phantom.
So
Huh.
I think you're right. I think they don't.
Huh.
They do something with the grill,
Yeah.
where the old thing remains.
The charm still remains.
The charm
Right.
still remains.
Fair
Correct.
enough. Fair enough.
Correct.
I mean, unfortunately, Riley is not making cars anymore. I mean,
Yeah, Riley is not.
they've stopped
They've stopped
manufacturing as against
manufacturing
Rolls
probably.
Royce. So, I'd like to go in a little bit of detail into the journey that you had with the Rolls Royce when you got it. I mean, now I know that why you got it, but then in what condition it came to you, and then how what kind of things were identified once you brought it here in India, and then how you started working on it, who you engaged.
Yeah. So what we got with the Rolls was close to, I think, 12 or 15 of those boxes, which had all the original stuff. So starting with all your wooden paneling,
Okay.
lights, the box at the back to keep your suitcases,
Yeah.
all those things. Everything came in those cartons.
Oh,
And we were very lucky, as I said, that it was a mechanically 100% done car.
I mean that's
So we've
I'm
got
sure
we've
correct. Huh?
got the works done on the car,
Okay.
the history
Okay.
of works done on the car since 1960s, 70s, whatever work was done in the car, we've got all the data.
I see.
And everything recently, I think in the 90s, there was some mechanical work done, which
Okay.
was suspension work, and engine has been excellent. So
Okay.
the guys who were restoring the car,
Okay.
and one or two friends of mine who are real enthusiasts of these vintage cars. So when they heard the engine, they said, "Don't even get it touched."
Okay.
And we were lucky that everything went very well.
I see.
So we got it restored in Delhi,
Okay.
and
Okay.
Kanav again,
Huh.
he and his mom. So Ritika and Kanav, they've also taken a lot of pain in doing
Okay.
the interiors of the car.
Oh, lovely.
So we had a little tiff on the color.
Well, of course,
Somebody
it's
wanted
for
this
him and
color,
his
somebody
wife.
wanted this color, somebody wanted that color.
Okay.
But luckily, the color was finalized,
Oh,
everything
nice.
done,
Okay.
interiors was totally their
Okay.
choice,
Okay.
and
Okay.
everything came out, I think, pretty well. We love it.
I'm still. I mean, it's actually a blessing in disguise, or actually not in disguise. The fact that the guy who you bought it from,
Yeah.
they were able to give you, boxes of all the original parts.
Yes.
Because normally, what I have heard, at least I've not seen much, but I've heard that people who are buying these vintage cars, it's a 2 3 or maybe a 4 5 years struggle to get it back into the original shape it was, because then procuring parts from different
Correct.
countries, it becomes quite a thing.
Yeah.
So you did not have to do any of that.
Luckily, we did not have to do anything. Can you imagine? That was,
Wow.
yeah, we were
Okay.
prepared,
Okay.
but we didn't have to do anything because the engine, as I said, the mechanicals were perfect, and the people who did the upholstery and the interiors
Mm-hmm.
and the paint job, they were, they knew their job,
Okay.
and whatever selections were done, they were done,
Hmm.
and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
And the color, I remember it's a silver colored
it's a
car.
pure silver.
So the color was of your choice, or the car was originally silver, that's why you chose the same color?
No, the car originally was of a navy blue
I see.
and a mix of silver.
Okay. Okay.
That was probably the original,
I see.
and but somehow we prevailed upon our thoughts and got it done full silver because the top is black, the tires are
Oh,
black,
the top is black.
the top is
Okay.
black. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay. 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 Okay.
it's a leather,
Understood. Mm-hmm.
whatever artificial leather you put.
Okay.
So it's that top.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the two tone combo, you can say.
Interesting. Interesting. And this was, how long a journey was it for you when it came to restoring the car from the condition it came to you in and where it stands now? How long did it take?
Yeah, so it took us almost 18 months,
Okay.
but it was COVID period also.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Right.
starting, I think June, July, we got the car, and September we finally sent it out to the people for restoration.
Okay.
So September 20 to December, it came back. Then again, it went back. So yeah, about 18 months, you can say.
That's quite nice. I mean, 18 months, that too during the COVID period.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the guys
So
were working on your car. That's something. It's quite commendable. I mean,
yeah,
normally people were not even choosing to work in those times, but okay, it's quite an interesting thing.